Yeah, we search all over looking for whatever it is that we need, when the very thing that we need has been there right in front of us the whole time. Whatever you're searching for, you'll find it when you find God. Searching all over, trying to find someone to love me, time after time. I found love when I found you. Help me sing on. Searching all over, trying to find someone to love me, time after time. I found love when I found you. Hey, let's go. Searching all over, trying to find a precious love that's so divine. I found love when I found you. Help me sing. Trying to find a precious love that's so divine. I found love when I found you. Since I found you, you never left me alone. You never left me alone. You always been there for me. You always been there for me. You have to carry on. Carry on. And all hope is gone. Yes, I'm searching, trying to find a precious love that's so divine. I'm when I find you, you never let me alone. You've always been there for me. You only care. You was gone. You never let me alone. You've always been there for me. You only carry on when our hope was gone. Hey, things are turning around now. Then I found the Lord. Everything is alright now. Then I found the Lord. Hey, say, things are turning around. Now that I found you, everything is alright. Now that I found you, things are turning around. Everything is I'm so glad that I found hey, let's go. Come on. Yeah. Right about now. I'm gonna let my wife Denise let me take it to the next level. Baby, ready? Oh, yeah. Let's go. Come on. I found you. Yes, I found you. Because I need a phone you, I found you, hey, I was lost, found you, so deep, I found you, oh yeah, until the day I found you. You came in. Be already. Yeah. I'm no longer the same. You no. Since you found you. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm glad to be on with you tonight, and literally just walking in my house. Walking in my house long enough to cut on the live and jump right on tonight after grabbing something to drink. So we are here, tired, but here. And this is going to be a good live, and I'm excited about it. Really grateful that you all have joined in to be a part of this tonight. Do me a favor, like the video. And as you're doing that, let me know where you are tuned in from, city, state, or country, if not from America. Um, and let's get everybody to drop that in the chat, and then also share the video so we can get our numbers moving. And we're going to get started here in a couple of minutes. Again, thank you for the grace to be late on Thursdays. It's by far the most grueling day of my week, and I am unapologetically sleepy. I was dozing off in the car waiting on my daughter to get out for volleyball. Um, and so yeah, but we are here and wouldn't miss it for anything. And appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for your encouragement every week. PRS 251 on TikTok. I appreciate you. It means a lot to me so much. New Orleans, Ohio. Thank you so much. North Carolina, Georgia. Where are we? Jacksonville, Florida, California, Greensboro, Davenport, Florida, Huntersville, Peace, Houston, Texas, Central New York, Philly, Atlanta again. Thank you so much. Atlanta again, Florida again, Dallas again. Wow, Houston, Baltimore. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. Where are you tuning in from? London, UK. I appreciate you, all of my international people. Detroit, Queens, New York. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Um, Arizona, thank you. Bermuda. I ironically thought about Bermuda today. That's funny. Wow. Queens, New York, Toronto, Canada. Thank you so much. Los Angeles, California, North Carolina, Detroit, Greenville, South Carolina, Lansing, Michigan, Georgia, New Orleans once again. Thank you. DeSoto, Texas, Lima, Ohio, Seattle, Washington. Like the video. Tell me where you're from. Share the video. I need all of you to do this for me. And we're going to get started here in just a second. My goal is to only be 60 minutes tonight. I'm making a conscious effort to scale back these Thursday lives. I'm moving a lot of my work into Patreon, and then also should have some announcements really soon about what 2026 city visits look like. So I'm excited about that and hope you are as well. Chicago, Dallas, Texas, Cypress, Texas, New Jersey, Detroit. Again, thank you so much. City, state, or country, let me know where you're tuned in from if you're not from America. Alabama, thank you. Good. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm not gonna hold you. You probably can see it in my eyes. But we're gonna get through tonight and a very solid lesson. and I'm excited to teach it and really appreciate all of you. Ohio, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. This is going to be great. Appreciate all of you. And again, thank you for your support. If you have not liked the video, like the video immediately. Let me thank all of my subscribers, those of you that are part of Eagle Nation. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you for subscribing. If you have not joined the subscription space, do it right away. Our last month and a half, 2 months have been incredibly powerful. And we've really been tapping into some deeper level work. And so if you have not subscribed on Patreon, make sure you do that right away. And ooh, I'm tired, y'all. And it's gonna be really good to you. I want to thank those of you that have already done that and that are already a part of that subscription community. Let me also say, shipping should be going out within the next day or two for the 5 areas of healing. We've got those back in stock, and you might want to get a copy of those before they sell out again for the sixth time. They've sold out 5 times, and so make sure you grab a copy of those of that if you don't have it already, as well as a copy of the work. There are some more copies of that left. Also, the links for all of that should be in the description of the live. And I really appreciate all of you. Um, some of you have reached out to me via email, via DMs about my client calendar. It is not open, still open for new clients. It closed, I don't know, several weeks ago. But definitely be on the lookout for more course information. We'll be dropping some new courses here really soon. And the 3 day reset was probably one of the best courses I've ever taught. And that's saying a lot. I've had some really good courses, but this 3 day trauma reset was powerful. Really working with people on how to reset their nervous system, among other things. And it was great. And so definitely be on the lookout for that. And I promise to get that out to you when I can find a couple of days of rest. It's my goal to release quite a few things to you, but it's a grind right now. And so just be on the lookout for that. But I cannot take any new clients right now, more than what I already have and have committed to. So just be out on the lookout for those new courses. It is the wave of the future for my work. Eventually, y'all, I won't be able to see as many people in terms of clients as I do see now. And that's a good problem to have. But be on the lookout for that. There is not currently a replay of the trauma reset, but I am working on that. So the question that came about that is right on cue with some things that I'm working on with that and several other things that I've recorded. But the 3 day trauma reset is a 3 day series that's worth it. It's one. If you were in that course, you can confirm that was one of the strongest courses that's been out there. It's really solid, really breaks down what trauma is, how to reset trauma, how it impacts your nervous system, how to reset your nervous system. It's just really solid. And so be on the lookout for that, and hopefully that will be coming out really, 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 really soon. All right. Um, support the show. The ways to support the show are on the screen. Some of you were surprised last week. The recording was not up. I'm being much more intentional about this because I have so many people that are supporting my work, and I want to be mindful of that. It's only the right and the fair thing to do. But I want you all to support the show so I can leave this live up. If not, if you are a member of the Patreon community, you'll be able to see this replay. Um, uh, uh, After it is recorded and has ended. And so support the show. The ways to support the show should be on the screen. If not, we'll get them up there really soon and support the show. And I absolutely would appreciate it. In the event that you see someone drop a salad icon in the chat area, it just simply means they're buying me lunch by supporting the show. And I highly encourage all of you to consider doing the same. I reached my client number now is 1,202 clients in 49 countries. Hit that mark this week, and I had a new client say to me,
Doc, wow. Like, you have probably helped me more in 6 months of lives that I've had in 3 years of therapy. Many people take that as bragging. That's not my problem. That's yours. But I absolutely positively love doing what I do. If I did not, trust me, I would be curled up in the bed right now, rubbing my feet together in this 20 something degree weather, tired, yawning. I love what I do, but I really do believe that I'm one of the best in the business when it comes to helping people understand complex things in a very simple way. And so, if this broadcast is a help to you, support the show. Supporting the show positions us to continue to bring it to you in this format and for free. All right. And so it's very important that you do that, and I would appreciate it. Also, shout out to my moderators, those of you that still continue to tap in and be a part of the work that we're doing. Thank you so much for your support. In the event that you see a crazy comment in the chat area, anybody that's tuned in tonight, just simply drop an eagle in the chat area. And our moderators, who do an awesome job of monitoring the chat area, will see your eagles, find the comment, and remove the person from the chat area. Here at Eagle Nation, we don't fly down with birds, we fly high with eagles. So don't y'all go back and forth with people in the comments. All right. Just drop an eagle, and our moderators do a wonderful job of getting them out of the way. Thank you so much, moderators, for all you do. Naomi, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you. Super chats are already coming in. Barbara, another super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for your support. Let me say this. Let's get right into it. Tonight, I am talking about a fun thing, and it's going to be powerful. It's not very complicated, but it's really awesome. Before you take them back, consider this. I want you to put that in the chat. Grab your journals. Let's get ready to get to work. Before you take them back, consider this. Now, I'm going to tell you, I am, I'm a little annoyed. This was a hard week, and let me tell you why. This was a hard week. This was a hard week because I watched a lot of people self destruct on social media this week. I'm going to do a video. I keep saying this every week, and I keep putting it off, that I'm going to make this transition to YouTube, and I really am. And I'll be honest with you, I don't have an excuse. The reason is me. I am one of those people where if I've been called or led to do something, I do it until the wheels fall off. And But I've got to go to this transition to YouTube, and I was really heavily burdened this week because um, social media is really starting to disgust me. This kind of has something to do with what we're talking about tonight. It kind of doesn't. Social media really is starting to kind of disgust me a little bit. It is. I think social media is the beginning of the slow denigration of our society. I really do. I think social media is revealing just how broken our society is. Like, and when I say society, I just, if you're breathing, I'm talking to you. Right. So regardless of country or where you live, um, I really do believe it's the end of it. Like, it's the beginning of the end. And it's so annoying to me to see so many people lack self-awareness. Like, people really are living and carrying a degree of ignorance and lack of awareness today, probably like no other day in mankind. And what makes this more probably painful is that when you heal, healing really sobers you. Healing makes you incredibly sober to the foolishness around you. I had somebody I wouldn't dare call. Um, I had somebody call or send me a message on Instagram, and this morning it was early, and we were having this exchange, and she said some things that were so powerful. I told her I should probably pay you. Oh, I didn't put on my background lights, y'all. I just started talking. I said to her, I should probably pay you for the things that you're sharing right now, because the things she was talking about when it comes to relationship dynamics, particularly between men and women, were so powerful. And the nuts and bolts of it, obviously, I won't go through what she mentioned, but the nuts and bolts of it is social media, culture, mindset, tampered or destroyed masculine and feminine energy. These things have really taken a toll on how people interact in relationships and connections. It's bad. I I said to her that things are so rough now that I'm not quite sure, unless you're healed, it's almost impossible to understand the full intentions of people you connect with. We were exchanging, and I said to her something that I don't mind being vulnerable to say out loud. I said to her, I'm in a phase of my life where I almost wish I would have met everybody I needed to know before success instead of having to meet people now, because our culture is so thirsty for all kinds of things: attention, fame, celebrity, spotlight, money, that people have literally compromised the integrity of who they are just to get a come up. And I felt so bad. What day? What's today? Thursday. I think it was yesterday. I felt so bad yesterday that I honestly, I don't remember the last time I sat to myself and said, you know what? Maybe I should just shut down social media. You know, you, you know those people that you see on your feed, like your friends that, every couple of months they be like, I'm shutting down social media, right? And you just kind of look at it and be like, man, shut up. Girl, shut up, right? I'm shutting down social media. Well, I had a moment, I'm being honest, yesterday. I had a moment where I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna just shut down social media. I'm working on some other things anyway, and make an appearance and tell everybody, hey, I'm over here, and then get back off again. Not because of anything I'm not going through a thing. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not going through a single dollar bill thing. The biggest problem I got right now is when I can get a vacation. When I can get a vacation, when I can catch another flight, when I can try some new activities, when I can find some water. That's it. I Doc has nothing to complain about. So ain't going through nothing. But just the energy from social media and engaging with people, y'all, these are real weird times. I mean, weird times. And let me tell you something: if you don't put in the work to heal mentally, emotionally, and spiritually at minimum, I got bad news for you. If you think things are rough now, it's going to get more exhausting in the months and in the years to come. What does this have to do with taking people back? Well, it's got a lot to do with it because part of the sobriety that comes with healing is that ultimately, when healing sobers you, it has the potential to make you secure. And the greatest advice I can give to many of you, this is in romantic relationships, this is in platonic friendships. It doesn't matter what the ship is. The greatest advice I can give to many of you is that anytime there is a separation between you and another person of any type, the best thing you can do is not be quick to run back to what you were separated from, but take that opportunity to recenter and reground yourself to ensure that if you decide to go back to where you were separated, you are making a clear, conscious decision to do it in a healthy way. Doc, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you. Doc is not anti reconciliation. Doc is not anti people figuring things out. But what I do know is that if you've ever been separated from a person, and after that separation, took the time to properly recenter yourself before returning to them or anybody else, one of the glaring things you will notice is that security also changes your appetite. I want you to put that in the chat, put that in your notes. That's your first note for tonight. Security also changes your appetite. That in fact, if you've ever experienced a failed relationship, failed marriage, breakup, loss of a friend, because tonight ain't just about relationships. You can take people back as friends that used to be a friend. Relationships, friendships, you know, whatever connections. If you've ever had to rebound from something like that that has been broken, and you took the proper time to recenter yourself and heal before returning to them or anything else or anyone else, you notice that security changes your appetite. That the things you were once attracted to, turned on by, interested in, wanted to be involved with, even if you had a liking for them, you may not still have a taste for them. There are a lot of foods you can like, but you don't always have a taste for what you like. Healing is a great indicator of this because when we heal, 9.5 times out of 10, your appetite's going to change with your healing. And this, y'all, is one of the main reasons why many of us secure people don't go backwards. Now, this isn't for everybody, but let me say this. Some of us that have done the work, the healing work, some of you are doing the healing work right now. Some of you are doing the work to heal your attachment style. Some of you know what it's like to disconnect from really good people, but then find yourself asking yourself, why am I not interested in going back to these great people? They're solid people. I'm a solid person. Here's your answer. When you heal the stuff that was wrong with you, including your attachment style, Your values get realigned, your thoughts get recentered, your emotions are under control, and you have a spiritual foundation to catch you when other stuff doesn't make sense. What you notice is that the things that were once appealing to you no longer are as appealing as they used to be, and thus it is impossible to consume something you no longer have a taste for. One underrated sign of healing is a changed appetite. A secondary underrated sign of healing is almost this adamant refusal to go backwards. I want to say this to you. And this may be a little personal tonight. It's fine. I'm not going to go too far. Let me say this to you. I have never, even when I wasn't a healed man, I have never gone back to anything that I ever left. In fact, let me tell you how powerful a healed foundation is. Watch this. How many of you put in the chat a one if you are a person who has been doing this work, has done this work? So maybe you can say, I've done this work, Doc, I'm healed, or I'm doing this work. How many of you can be honest and admit that when you do this work or have done this work, sometimes you can want to go backwards, but there is no mental, emotional, or spiritual agreement. So even when you try, things fall apart because that ain't where you're supposed to be. I can't explain. Either you know this and understand this or you don't. Some of us never go backwards. And that thing hit me a couple of weeks ago. Like, bro, there's literally nothing you ever left that you've gone back to. And if you did, it never worked. You know why? Because your foot doesn't grow from a size 5 to a size 9 and then get comfortable in a 9. And then all of a sudden, one day wake up and say, you know what? I think I want to be a size 5 again. Let me take this a step further. I want you to record this in the chat. You ready? It is dangerous to return back to anything that had you bound in any way. Uh-oh. I don't care what it looks like and what the boundness was. It is dangerous to go back to anything that had you bound in any way. Let me give you an easy example and let me make it more complicated. If you've been to jail and you get out, it is dangerous to go back in. Why? Because when you go back in, you have stripes already on you. So if the first punishment was bad, rarely is the second punishment lesser than the first. The second punishment is typically harder than the first punishment. It rarely works out well going back to anything that had you bound. If you were in a relationship where there was abuse and you go back to that relationship that had abuse in it, it's rare when that abuse gets better. There are some situations that many of you have been in that had you back. What does it mean to be bound? To be tied down, tied up, confused, dysfunctional, dysfunctionally broken, delusional. When you come out of any of those things and go back to them, you're walking on dangerous grounds. There are some things, y'all, you have been in, some connections you've been in, but the best advice I can give you is that when you get out, stay out. And the get out, stay out advice is especially true for those connections and relationships and situationships and all these kind of ships you've been on where you were bound in one way or the other. Sometimes being bound looks like not being in character. Sometimes being bound looks like being a version or a shell of yourself. Watch. And you are comfortable in it to the point where everybody noticed the change in you but you. Let me tell you something. If a situation has you bound in any way, best advice I can give you is to get out and stay out. This even has spiritual implications, and I won't turn this into a Bible study, but I will say this. If you are a Christian or a believer, as I am, you understand that there is a verse that reminds us of this truth. Stand therefore in the liberty, watch this, wherewith Christ has made us free. Here we go. My favorite part. And be not entangled again in the yoke of bondage. You know what's so powerful and crazy about this? Many of you have prayed to God, Buddha, Allah, all of these people to bring you out of bad situations just for him to bring you out. And what do? Go right back to what he brought you out of. There is nothing worse than to pray to come out of something and go back into what you just prayed to get out of. So whomever you praying to, God, Buddha, Allah, what understand this. When you come out of what you're in, and God knows if prayer brings you out of something that you were in, and you turn right back to what you just prayed to come out of, you're playing with danger. As believers, we understand that anytime you come out of something that you were brought out of, especially spiritually, that thing you return to gets 7 times worse than what it was, which is why when a person abuses you in a relationship and you go back to them and if and but, because some of you going to be like, abusers can change. I didn't say they couldn't. If you come out of a relationship with somebody who has abused you in any way and they have not done the work to correct that abuse, and if God brought you out of that and you go back, you can expect it to be 7 times worse than when you left it. And a lot of people don't like to hear stuff like that, Doc. That's fine. You don't have to believe me. Try it. Try it. How about you pray to be brought out of something, get brought out of it, and then turn around and go back to it and see what happens? Some of y'all ain't in no soul tie. Some of you just made a decision to go back to something you had no business with in the first place. Stop calling the stuff you went back to a soul tie. That's a decision. And there's a huge difference between a soul tie and a decision. Many of you ain't in no soul ties. You ain't in no cycles of love. You ain't in you in a decision. because you prayed to come out of it, you begged and cried to come out of it, you came out of it, and you chose to go back. This ain't hard. This ain't rocket science. If you don't understand the difference this plain, I don't know what else to tell you. And some of y'all struggling because you chose to. Some of you aren't in soul ties, you're in decision ties. And I get it. Here you go. I don't blame the abused for being abused. I hear y'all. I know y'all. Just, bruh, just go back and listen to my monologue about how social media is destroying y'all. It's insanity. Like, I even had to stop myself. I've been on this little roll where, I've been trying to enjoy a little social media a little bit. Sometimes when in my downtime, not to post, just scroll and laugh and stuff. I'll post memes. If you follow me, I'll post stuff on my story, comment on it, laugh about it. Vacation stuff. I love to post vacation clips. My algorithm is filled with trips to exotic places. That's all I want on my algorithm. But I've even gotten to a point now where I gotta stop even commenting on people's clips, because then you get people under there who's sitting in seat 52A. I don't know. I got restricted on TikTok. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what they're talking about. Um, I get I get comments from people in seat 52A who just say some of the dumbest stuff, and it reminds me of just the separation that happens between people who do this work and who don't. Listen, y'all, if you get out of a situation that was bad and you prayed to get out of it too, and you return back to it, you could be making one of the most grave, worst decisions of your life. Never return to anything. Never return to anything that almost killed you or that you were delivered from. I'm going to say it slow. Never return to anything that almost killed you. Never return to anything that almost killed you or almost had you in a place where you could not come out and you had to be delivered from it. Let me give you an easy definition of the term delivered. I don't mean that in a spiritual way. Let me give you just a natural way. So if you're an atheist, I have atheists that follow my work. Welcome to the show if you're on tonight. I have atheists as clients. I love it. The easiest way to look at the term delivered is if you have to be rescued, which means if you've been rescued from something, why would I be rescued from a shark and then turn around and get back in the water with the shark? Why would I be rescued from a dog and then go right back outside and play with the dog? When I say never return to something that almost killed you, I ain't just talking about a natural death. Some of you have almost lost your minds fooling with people who had you mentally and emotionally so bound that you narrowly escaped with your right mind. And you're telling me it's a great idea to go back to something you had to be delivered from that almost took your mind with you. It's not a wise idea. So just give this some thought. Now, support the show. Let me give you 5 things. I'm going to give you 5 things to think about before you go back to what you left. And let's just have a conversation about these 5 things. All right. This making sense? Are y'all supporting the show? This making sense? I want to give you 5 things I want you to think about before you go back to where you left. Either I'm thirsty or this water is just outstanding. Right? If you're thinking about going back to a person in any capacity, that could be a romantic capacity, a marriage, a friendship, a relationship, a situationship, whatever. If you're thinking about going back to a person, I want to give you 5 things you can think about. You need to think about before you consider taking them back. Before you consider going back to them, accepting them back, whatever way you want to word it. 5 things I want you to consider. Number one, first thing I want you to do is measure their capacity. I want you to measure their capacity. What is capacity? Capacity is the measurement of what something can hold, receive, and handle. Capacity is the measurement of what something can hold, receive, or handle. Before you think about taking somebody back, I need you to be able to identify what they can hold, what they can receive, what they can handle. Let me say it in even simpler terms. What they can take, because if you're going to get back in the ring with somebody who has limited capacity, there's a good chance they can't hold or take anything. If a person can't hold or take anything and they've already failed you once, it's a really good chance they're going to do what? Fail you again. Capacity is the measurement of what they can receive. The reality is, y'all, some people just don't have it in them to be able to do. Had a really good conversation with somebody, a client, about this yesterday. Capacity is so underrated. And I think a lot of times we don't give this real consideration. Some people don't do right by you, not because they don't want to. Some people don't do right by you because they can't. There are literally some people that don't have the comprehension to do it. Thank you, Camille, for your support. Appreciate you. Some people don't have the comprehension to do right. They don't have the wherewithal, the self-awareness. They don't even have the ability to do right. One of the questions that I would put under that receive, right? When we say capacity is the measurement of what something can hold, receive, or handle. One of the things that the questions I would put under the receive part of that is just ask this. Put this in your journal. Do they have the ability to change or grow? Not do they want to change or grow? It's a whole lot of people that want to do stuff. Heck, I want to go to Dubai tomorrow. The greater question is, do I have the ability to go? A whole lot of people say they want to change. Question is, do you have the ability to change? Sometimes, y'all, see, this is why I don't like, and I know I'm going to hurt some of you when I say this. This is why I think that whole phrase of, if he wanted to, he would. If she wanted to, she would. If they wanted to, they would. It sounds great. Some people, the phrase should be, they can't, so they ain't. Some people don't have the ability to love you, so they'll never love you. Some people don't have the ability to change, so they'll never change. Some people don't have the ability to grow, so they'll never grow. Doc, you mean tell me everybody can't grow? Yeah, I'm telling you, some people don't have the capacity to grow. And guess what happens when you don't grow? Eventually, you die. I don't purport to the whole if they would, they could stuff because some of y'all are giving that title and that phrase to people who just ain't got capacity. They 40 in their mind they're 40 on their birth certificate, but they're 4 in their behavior and mentality. We need to measure capacity. Before you're going to take them back, ask a simple question. Do they even have the ability to change or grow? Have they expressed to me the ability to change and grow, to receive information, to apply information to their life to become a better version of themselves? The answer to that question is no, ain't no need to go through the other 5, other 4. Everybody want to be rich. The question is, can you? The question is, can you be rich? Everybody want to have. The question is, can you do what it takes to have? And I'm here to tell you, some people just don't have what. I want y'all to put this. I know this sounds so mean, but it's life. Put under this note, some people just don't have what it takes. Bottom line. Some people don't have what it takes. And this is why, when it comes down to connecting with people, particularly in a romantic way, you better choose wisely because you can choose somebody and a spark can have you choosing somebody. High attraction, they cute, he fine, whatever. High attraction can have you choosing somebody. But let me tell you something, when that spark die, and if they don't have the capacity, you will realize that you wasted time and potentially a body count with somebody who just ain't got the capacity to have what it takes. Are you ready for this? You can't love them into having what it takes. You can't love them into having what it takes. You can't correct them to having what it takes. Look, let me give you an example. I love y'all, but let me just give you an example. I think one of the greatest shows to ever come on TV is American Idol. I don't like the version that's on now. I like the Simon Cowell version. You know why? Because Simon Cowell, regardless of what you thought about him, there's one thing that he never lied about. He never lied about capacity. Simon Cowell will let you come on there and sing and start singing. And depending on what mood he was in, he might cut you off early, he would cut you off late, but eventually he would just cut you off and finish and be like, I think that was the most horrible singer I've ever heard in my life. And then people would be flabbergasted. Oh my God, really? Like all my cousins told me I could sing. And then he would say, "No, just go find a cruise ship. You can sing on a cruise ship or a boat or something. Find a karaoke night." And people would just be so disgusted. He's so rude. No, what he's saying is, you got desire, but you don't have capacity. Y'all, desire will never substitute for capacity. There's some people that just won't ever be able to sing. You can put them in a hot mic. You can buy them vocal coaches. I know y'all don't believe this. I've done some vocal coaching. I play 9 instruments. Let me tell you what I know. Some people just don't have the capacity to sing. You just didn't get that gift. And so, if we understand that in music and singing, you better understand this in how people show up. Some people don't. Some people will never do right by you because they don't have the ability to. Woo! They just don't have the ability to. And thinking, here you are thinking that a person is going to change or grow because you want them to. Not the case. Now, I I'm so glad you said. Somebody said on Facebook he was wrong about Fantasia. I didn't know he said that about Fantasia, but let's use that as an example. Fantasia is one out of a million. When was the last time any of y'all hit the lottery? I love y'all. I'm not being funny. Just responding. When was the last time any of y'all hit the lottery? Not just once, but not three, four, five times, just once. The reality is, you're more likely to get it right than you are to get it wrong. Fantasia's come dime a dozen. Capacity absolutely matters. Somebody said, "Does $10 count?" No, not talking about $10. Crazy. No, no. Does this make sense? First thing I want you to measure is capacity. Some of you gonna have to just realize and acknowledge some people just ain't got it. They just don't have the ability to change. And that's going to stop many of you from breaking your neck. Thank you, Samantha, for that. That was funny. Some that's going to stop some of you from breaking your neck trying to convince yourself that people have the ability to do when some people just don't. They just can't get it. Well, hold on. Let me put my list back on. If the 30 don't succeed, you know, don't, don't tell me I can't do it. If the first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. Baby, it ain't enough dustpans in the world to dust off a person who ain't got capacity, who trying to sing. It ain't enough dustpans. It ain't enough dust brushes in the world to dust you off. When a person don't have the ability to change, the ability to do right, the ability to be moral, the ability to be ethical, the ability to do right by you, the ability to honor you, the ability to respect you, the ability to be a decent person, there ain't enough dustpans in the world to get them to act right. Second thing I want you to think about before you go back to where you left, or before you go backwards to anybody in any capacity. Second thing I want you to think about. You ready? This is a two-part question. Number one, did they change? And if yes, why did they change? Let me break this down real quick. Did they change? And if yes, why did they change? Did they change? And if yes, why did they change? Let me tell you why this is important. Because if you separate from anyone in any capacity, I think somebody said something about a scripture, Galatians chapter 5, verse 1. If you want to stand therefore in the liberty and be not entangled again, it should be Galatians chapter 5. I think it's verse 1. If you go back to anybody, or if you and any person split apart for whatever reason, and They come to you and say, you know what? I'm changing. I made some changes. You know, I fixed this in my life. I fixed this in my life. I made this change and I want you back. I want us to be boyfriend. You're welcome, dear. I want us to be boyfriend, girlfriend again. I want us to be BFFs again. Maybe we used to be best friends. We fell apart, had a fall. I want us to be BFFs again. I've changed. This is what I've done. This is what I've done. This is what I've done. Great. So they've changed. The next question you need to ask them is going to shock them. Let me just put you on game and hope and pray that your person ain't watching the live and that we can't keep this up tonight. Y'all support the show. At this rate, it ain't going to be up. So you ain't got to worry about them seeing the replay. I'm not, I told you I'm not playing with y'all. I cannot do it anymore. I've got some things that are coming out. I just don't have a choice. Support the show if you want to see this again or become a part of the Patreon community. Y'all, if they say they change, ask them why they changed. You know why? Because healing is always an individual activity with environmental consequences. Healing is always an individual activity with environmental consequences, which means, in layman's terms, when you heal for you, for yourself, you have the ability to influence the environments around you. We don't heal for people, y'all. And I can't tell you the number of clients I've had in front of me in this nearly 20 years of doing this kind of work. The number of clients, students, people I've had in front of me who have made changes in their lives, not because it was the right thing to do. They made the changes in order to get something or somebody back. And anybody that changes for something or somebody cannot be trusted. I'm going to say this slow because y'all not going to like it. Anybody, put in your notes, you're going to be the smartest person at the water cooler tomorrow. Anybody who changes for something or somebody can't be trusted. And I know somebody's going to jump in the comments and say, Doc, that makes no sense. We can change for people. You change for your family. You want your family. I want to save my family. You know how many times I've had people, clients say to me, especially men, every blue moon you get a woman that'll say she needs to change for her family, but it'd be especially men. Doc, I'm here, Doc, because I got to change. I got to change for my family. No, you don't. Your family could walk out the house, get hit by a Mack truck, and be unalived. And if you were sorry before they got hit and changed before they got hit, when they got hit and got unalive, you still gonna be sorry. You're gonna go right back to what you was. You should never trust a person who changes for something or somebody. It annoys me to high heavens to have people in front of me say that they came to talk to me so that they could win a person back. And y'all would be shocked. I hear it at least twice a week. One of the first questions I ask in my comments. Hey, nice to meet you, and thank you so much for setting up some time. Looking forward to working with you to see how I can be a part of your journey. What can I help you with? Well, Doc, I'm here because I need to heal so I can get my wife back. Like within 10 seconds, we've already started the call wrong. And I'll say something like, I don't know if this is a good idea. I have a no refund policy, but I don't think this is a good idea. Why, Doc? Because you don't heal for people. You heal for you. Something can happen to the people that you healing for at the snap of a finger. We don't do this for things and people. We do this because it is the right thing to do for us to become the best version. I'm telling you right now. I know Y'all, Doc, that rule can't be absolute. You better take my word for this. If a person has done any type of thing, any type of change for you or something, just to have you or to have something, do not trust them. I'm healing for my family. I'm healing for my children. I'm healing. I'm healing to keep my community together. Bruh, heal for yourself. Says heal for you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. The people you got today, the wife you got today, the husband you got today could be gone tomorrow. God could take them. They could find somebody else, pack up and leave and never come back. I've heard some sad stuff in this space. Men and women literally leaving their entire families and disappearing. I ain't talking about being unalive. I'm talking about running off. And here you are in therapy trying to get them back. Stop. You need to be in therapy, counseling, coaching to get you back. You don't deserve them until you find you. Would you put that in the chat and put that in your journal? You don't deserve them until you find you. That go for anybody. You, your daddy, your mama. I don't care who it is. Good question on TikTok. Thank you so much. Do you believe you can heal with the same person who hurt you? It's possible if both of you are doing the work. What tends to happen, though, if I'm being honest with you with that question, is typically the person that hurt you may not be dedicated on the same level of doing the work as the person that they hurt, or vice versa. I've seen a person hurt, I've seen person A hurt person B. But then person A really feels sorry that they hurt person B and they're dedicated to doing the work. But person B is so turned off that they don't even want to deal with person A no more. Polarity is gone, attraction is gone, energy is shifted. And person A really is dedicated to doing the work, but person B is like, nah, I'm good. So it goes both ways. That's a great question, and it goes both ways. If both of them are dedicated to doing the work and healing, it absolutely can work. But I'll end that question with this response. Is it harder? Absolutely. It's hard to get healed where you've been hurt. It's hard to heal around a person who is responsible for your hurting. This is y'all what makes separation so powerful. For all you people that don't want to get separated, who would rather be 60 and 70, married to your spouse, and y'all been roommates for the last 40 years, because when you was 20, your excuse was our kids are babies. When it was 40, your excuse was your kids just getting ready to get out of college. Now you ain't got no excuse because your kids are out of school. They married, got kids, so you got grandkids. And now you and your husband, you and your wife are just roommates, sleeping in different beds, don't talk, don't do nothing. And let me tell you something. You can make excuses all day to stay in that situation. But none of those people will deserve you until they find themselves. Separation works because separation gives two people who have hurt one another, or where there's been hurt involved between two people, if it's only been one sided, it gives them both the opportunity to heal in space. Space creates clarity. That the further back you are from something, the more clear you are able to see that thing. And that's why separation laws in most states are in place. It is not because judges and court systems don't have nothing else to do and don't want you to get a divorce. You're going to have to pay. So, your money as a taxpayer is going to be going into the system. They're not going to turn that money down, that filing fee. They'll gladly take your money. It ain't about that. The reason why separation laws are in place is to give you and your spouse the space and the opportunity to see that if with distance, can we work this out? Can we get ourselves together in distance away from one another and then come back together and figure it out. But most people don't do that. Most of you get separated and then you have a hot girl, hot boy summer. Or some of y'all get separated from somebody you offended, and instead of doing the work to heal, you take that as a chance to get a break and you go out here and do more dumb stuff. I'm just telling y'all what I see every day. I'm just telling y'all what I see every day. So, space between two people absolutely improves, in my humble opinion, it improves their potential to heal and come back together if both people do the work while separated to try to join back together. This is why you will never say, thank you. You're my favor as well. I appreciate you. This is why I will never say, this is why I will never say I am anti reconciliation. I'm pro reconciliation. I love to see couples come back together and figure it out. But I'm also pro separation. That before you go ahead and get that divorce, you might want to think about a period of separation, because if you both do the work while you're separated, you can come back together. Let me explain something I've explained hundreds and hundreds of times. Two people are like this on a road. You and your husband, you and your wife, you and your boyfriend, you and your girlfriend, you and your BFF, whatever. Two people are like this on a road, right? You're traveling like this on a road. And as you're traveling on the road, you have a problem and you decide to separate. Just imagine going down the road, 2-lane highway, and there's a median that pops up and the lane split. You go on this side, they go on this side. When you go your separate ways, you both have an obligation to do what? Keep driving. The driving is representative of doing the work. You have an obligation to keep driving. If you keep driving forward, doing the work, and they keep driving forward, doing the work, when that median ends, what happens? You come back together. This is how separation can work. Now, when two people have been together, life hits them, they separate. But they continue to do the work on each other, with each other, on each other, or they continue to do the work themselves for themselves. They will come back together, meet back together when that hard time has passed, and they continue forward. What normally happens? I'll tell you what happens. You have two people that are together, and then life happens, the median hits, they separate. One of them is determined to do the work. They're doing the work, they're working on themselves mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially. They are exercising the discipline necessary to make better decisions. They are focusing on themselves and healing and becoming the best version of themselves. They're fixing their attachment style. They're becoming one with their value system, blah, 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 blah. They're doing all this work. And the other person is just chilling, hanging out. While you continue to do the work, and your person, your friend, your BFF, your partner is just stagnant because they ain't doing no work. What happens when one person does the work and the other person does nothing? The distance between them widens. This is why separation can work. Separation can also be oh. Separation can work. Separation can also be the final nail in the coffin. Because if you separate from a person who ain't doing the work and you're doing the work, you're not going to get closer to them. You are simply going to get further apart from them and eventually outgrow them. It's really that simple. Okay? Third question you need to ask. Is this helpful, y'all? This is a simple question, but it's a powerful one. 5 things to think about before you go back to where you left. Number one, measure their capacity. Number two, did they change? If yes, why? Number three, how does the good times compare with the bad ones? How does the good times compare with the bad ones? Doc, these questions are really that simple. I've helped to reconcile nearly 200 couples in less than 18 months. I'm telling you what I know. Thank you so much for your support. Shario50. Y'all support the show. How does the good times compare with the bad times? Seems like a simple question, but let me give you another analogy to make this make sense. If you ride roller coasters and that roller coaster only has dips, all it does is dip and go down and go down. It never stops, comes to a point, comes up. Or if it does stop and come to a point and it slightly goes up and then it dips even lower. And maybe it comes up and slightly dips up a little bit, then it goes back even lower. And then it maybe stops and holds steady for a second. So it's not going low, it's not going high. But then it dips down low again. Eventually, you're going to be in hell. You know why some of your relationships feel like hell on earth? Because the dips are greater than the rises. Some of your relationships feel like hell on earth because the dips are greater than the rises. Some of your relationships feel like hell on earth because the dips are greater than the rises. And if you ride a roller coaster that just keeps going down, eventually you're going to end up in hell. I'm just, I mean, it's just the truth. It's just the truth. It's the truth. Some of you literally feel like hell right now because of this. And I'm gonna tell you, y'all, no, y'all, does every relationship have hard times? Sure. Y'all don't be, let's not be silly. Let's not be silly. Yes, every relationship has its hard times. Every relationship has some difficult moments. But the majority of your relationship shouldn't be difficulty. The majority of your relationship shouldn't be on the struggle bus. It should be. And this is another reason why I say if you are separated from a person, apart from a person, no longer with the person, you're thinking about going back, before you go back to them, you need to do the work on yourself first, and they need to do the work on themselves first before you come back together. Because if you've had a whole bunch of low times, and now I got to try to heal with you from hell, it's hard. It's hard to heal with anybody when you're standing in hell. Somebody got to get out. How do you handle when one side wants to do the work together? And I think I literally just answered that. How do you handle when one side wants to do the work together and the other one wants to separately? You need to start separate first. In most cases, there are except let me be careful because y'all can be absolute. There are some cases where there can be exceptions and not the rule. And one of those exceptions is when you got two people that have split apart, but both of them are equally hungry and committed to doing the work. They're both dedicated to doing the work. They're both committed to doing the work. They're putting equal time in. They put checks and balances in together to hold one another accountable. Those are beautiful situations. I've seen couples come to me on the verge of divorce, and within a week, they had reconciled. You know why? Because these were two hungry people who wanted it as bad. Let me tell you something. If you've been reconciling with a person for 2 years, it's about to get ugly. If you've been in reconciliation mode for 2 years, I can almost guarantee you that one of you at minimum, maybe two, but at least one of you, for real, really don't have the desire to reconcile. It don't take 2 years to work on most things. It just doesn't. It just doesn't take 2 years to work on most things, especially in this space of reconciliation and healing when you really commit to doing the work. Can I tell you exactly how long it's going to take? I can't tell you exactly how long it's going to take, but I tell you what, if two people have been together and say y'all been together for 5, 10 years, and then y'all have a falling apart, but both of you say, you know what, baby, I want to make this work. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to put my life on pause to work on myself so that I can get myself together with the hopes that we can try to come back together, merge as a road, and try to figure this out. Let me tell you something. If two people come in with that level of commitment and really commit to the work, you'd be shocked at how fast you can turn things around. And for many of you, this sounds like a foreign language because you've never been invested in a situation with a person who was as invested in you as you were then. And let me tell you from personal experience, when you are invested in people more than they are invested in you, and that effort is not reciprocal, you might end up leaving that situation, eventually being healed, but you'll be drained at the same time. You want to know how it is to get healed and drained at the same time? To be working on healing and reconciliation with the person, but they ain't doing the work and you're doing the work. You mess around and get healed. You look up, they still the same person they were, and you find yourself then healed and drained. Healed because you did the work, drained because you was expecting them to do it. And then they coming back to you, baby, 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 baby. I really, girl, you know I want you. Hold on. Now I'm gonna tell you what they come back like. I'm gonna tell you exactly what they come back like. I'm gonna have to put this. I'm just gonna have to put this in my soundboard. Here you are doing all this work. You didn't did all of this work. You didn't healed yourself. You've been crying up at night. Can't go to sleep. Finally got the crying to stop. Finally got your beliefs recentered. Got your emotions, your thoughts back on track. Your emotions centered. Now you at a place where you have a spiritual foundation. You've healed physically and financially. You're in the best shape of your life. You've done the work. You're clear minded. You've healed your attachment style. You've done all of this stuff just for them to come back to you the same way they were when y'all started this journey together 6, 7 months ago. And the best they have to offer you is this. Just begging, 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 and no change. And y'all like that stuff. You will let people beg you to death without changing. Somebody said, I ain't gonna curse because some of y'all will pass out. Somebody said in the comment, begging A. Just begging. You done did all this work, they ain't done nothing. Let me tell y'all something. And I'm being dead serious. I don't care if it's a him or a her. Y'all know I'm equal opportunity. This is why you don't see a lot of trolls in my space. You know why? Because when men try to troll, then women have to get them together. And then when women try to troll, men have to get them together. I'm equal opportunity. I don't like men. I don't like women. I don't like your mama or your daddy. I don't care who you are. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Period. Y'all have to get to a place where you can pay attention to these dips and the rises and make sure that people are putting in the same amount of work as you are. That simple. Anything less than reciprocity is a failure. Write it down. Anything less than reciprocity is a failure. That's simple. I mean, all this bet. I believe if some of the people who ain't doing the work you're doing to try to get yourself together to consider them, if they did half as much work as they did lying, crying, and begging, y'all would have been reconciled by now. Some of y'all have been to acting school because I mean, you can put some of some of you can cry at the drop of a hat. You can make a tear come. You know people crazy. No, for real. What is this? Instagram is disconnect the stream. They currently disconnect streams after 1 hour for most users. You can remove this destination and then re-add it. Most of you, hold on. Instagram, I just got kicked off. That's all. Um, I got kicked off from Instagram because I think it has an hour limit or something. I didn't know that. I got to figure out how to make that transition smooth. I've never been blocked after an hour. It's no telling. I'm probably banned on Instagram too. Like at this point, I don't trust none of them. Um, what was I saying? What was I saying? Yeah, if they wanted to, they would. They absolutely, if they wanted to, they totally would. But reciprocity is the name of the game. And if people put as much energy into fixing the relationship as they did lying, crying, and begging, some of y'all would have been reconciled by now. Some of these, I think people, let me tell you who I think crazy. I think some of the craziest people are the people who can be crying at you 1 second out of frustration and begging, and then stop the tears and start cussing you out. Anybody, anybody who goes from crying and begging and then at the drop of a hat starts cursing you out, grab your things and start running. All right, number 4. Let me hurry up. I got 11:47. I was supposed to be off in 60 minutes. Felt bad I started later, but it's fine. Y'all supporting the show? Because I'm pulling it off immediately if you don't. I'm just not going to waste time. I'm going to drop it on Patreon. If you're not subscribed on Patreon, Eagle Nation on Patreon, do that right away. It'll be helpful for you. I'm serious. I see this stuff all the time, and it's just like really wild to me. What's the fourth thing to think about before you go back to where you left off? Where is their focus post the breakup, divorce, etc.? Where is their focus after the breakup? Where is their focus after the divorce? What do I mean by this? When you and that person split apart, where did they put their focus? Where did they put all of their effort and their attention? And this is important. Pay attention to where their focus goes after you and them go apart. It'll tell you everything that you know. Now, putting their focus on themselves ain't bad if it's done in a healthy way. You got to go back and watch the beginning of this video. That if two people break up and go apart, but they're going to heal in a healthy way and decide to do it in a healthy way, one of the first things you need to do is check yourself before you come for them. You don't break up with people and then put all your effort and energy on the person that you just broke up with or just broke up with you. That's Romeo and Juliet. That's Hollywood. That doesn't work. That's not healthy. Just go back and watch the video. I don't have time to re-explain that. When two people fall apart, the first point of emphasis should be to put your seatbelt on before you try to put theirs on. That's the concept. So we need to pay attention to, besides that, then where do they put their focus? Are they putting their focus on themselves in a healthy way? Are they putting their focus on their career? Are they putting their focus on different parts of their life that will make them as whole and well-rounded as they possibly can be? If you have children, this is big. How do they engage with their kids? Say you and a person have shared kids with someone. How do they engage with their kids after y'all split apart? That'll tell you everything. Because broken people that really don't desire to be better will be done with you and the kids. And if it's something that'll get Doc worked up, because I've had to get a lot of clients together about this. Just because you and a person fell out, don't mean you and them kids fell out. Just because you and their daddy fell out, don't mean you and them kids ought to fall out. Uh-oh, here we go. Just because you and that mama fell out, don't mean you and them kids should have fell out. And some of y'all real simple-minded. You fall out with the mama, so now you mad at the kids. Or you fall out with the daddy, and now you mad at the kids. Kids ain't got nothing to do with this. I have never seen that is some of the most ghetto foolishness I've ever seen in my life. And I ain't talking about grown kids. These kids be 3, 4, and 5. They barely even know what's going on if they do. So I don't care if it's boyfriend, girlfriend, post divorce, during separate, it don't matter. Pay attention, y'all, to where their focus goes. Because the truth is, many of you don't really need life balance. You need life order. You need life order. And sometimes things fall apart with people to position you to put your life not back in balance, but to put it in order. I'm going to say it again. Many of you don't need life order. You need life balance. And sometimes things fall apart. Not for you to put your life back in balance, but to put it back in order. You want to know some signs your life won't in order with that relationship? When you lost your identity and didn't know who you were. That's one of them. Uh-oh. If you've been in any relationship and somehow in that relationship or connection, marriage, whatever, you somehow lost your identity and had no clue as to who you were as a person, your life was out of order. Let me give you another example of how you know your life is out of order. when you've been in a relationship or connection with some of y'all for a friendship. Some of y'all ain't been right since you've been friends with certain people. Let me give you another one. When you have literally put everything and everybody behind that friendship, that relationship. This is for all of you that have allowed people to scatter you before they ran over you. This is for all of you that allow people to pull you away from circles of influence and family members and friends to isolate you before they completely dismantle you. I'm telling you, stop trying to find a plane to get on to get some balance and get your life in order. Because the right relationships are going to honor order. The right relationships are going to honor order. This is especially important when it comes to marriages, and this is especially important when it comes to friendships. Because when you are friends with somebody and that person you are friends with has a family, got kids, you as a friend are out of pocket and out of line to expect your BFF to put their kids aside so y'all can hang out. You are not the priority. You're not the priority. Oh, I got a better one that's going to make a whole lot of y'all mad. For all you people that's married and you put everybody else ahead of your spouse. Uh-oh. Danger zone. It's about to get quiet. Yeah, all of you. You and your mama BFFs, you and your daddy BFFs, y'all close knit family, great. That's all wonderful. But you didn't put everybody, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your pastor. You didn't put all of these people in front of your husband, all of these people in front of your wife. You don't need life balance. You just out of order. And none of you, I'm talking to married people. I'm not talking to BFFs because if you got a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you putting your boyfriend and girlfriend over your mom and daddy, not only are you out of order, you just foolish. That level of order don't belong to boyfriend and girlfriends. That level of order doesn't belong to just BFFs. That level of order belongs to your husband and your wife. That includes your pastor, your priest, anybody else. I have told clients, y'all ready for this? I have told clients to their face, couples, that while Doc believes he's incredible in this work, that he does this work because he has a calling to do this work. Some of you call it arrogance. I don't care. I just believe I'm the best in the business to do it. That's not on TV. That's not on mainstream. That's just carving his own path. But let me tell you something. I have looked clients in the face and said to them that if you, wife, honor my word and hold my word in such great esteem to the point where it causes you to question your own husband or not want to even hear your husband. Let me reword that better. To not even want to hear your own husband, you out of order. He could be a snagger-tooth, weed smoking, crackhead drunk. You married him. It doesn't mean what I'm saying don't matter. It doesn't mean that what I'm saying doesn't have validity. But even Doc's voice should not have you at a place where you say, "Oh, well, Doc done told us I ain't. You can't say nothing to me because I'm listening to Doc." You're not married to Doc. Doc is not getting none. Doc ain't cracking. This is why I laugh at these ignorant, broke, red pill folks who every blue moon jump on here and say stupid stuff like he said, y'all clearly don't listen to me. Y'all clearly don't listen. You clearly don't pay attention. I mean it. And the same thing applies on the other foot. You got a wife and y'all in front of me, and you as a man look at your wife and say, well, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say because we listen to the doc. No, you can listen to doc. Y'all should. You paid me to listen. And I know what I'm talking about and doing. But even doc's wise, sage advice should not eliminate your desire to hear from your spouse. And if it does, you're out of order. Some of y'all don't need to get married because you don't understand order. And don't even get me started on stepchildren and children in general. This for all you sensitive folks who still think your children have a higher ranking order than your spouse. That's why many of y'all gonna die single. You might as well go get a dog. Get you a cat. Fifi. Go get somebody like that. You will never have a solid husband or a solid wife when you put your kids above them. This is a spiritual principle that belongs to spiritually minded people. And if you don't want to live by that principle, fine. But understand this: you can take a person back when they have prioritized themselves in a healthy way, when they have prioritized their life and the things in their life in a healthy way. Some of you love your son that much, marry your son. Some of you guys love your daughter that much, marry her. Order matters. Ah, that's just, man, man, I just, it's just, I, y'all, we are in rough times. Like, the bar is literally in hell for a lot of people. Like, we're in rough times. And I've been posting a lot this week because it's been great conversations. They've been rooted in some client conversations about, just social media. Look, some of y'all, some of y'all can't keep a person because you're on social media too much. Some of y'all ain't gonna have a person because you like social media too much. But social media is really keeping some of y'all single. Social media is really keeping some of y'all single. Social media is the reason why I'm talking to men and women, because we like to make that statement and just say it's only women. No, it's some men out here that love social media more than they love women. I told I told somebody this week, man, if not for my work, and I started off my monologue with this, if not for my work, man, I've been off social media. Like, y'all annoy me. I love y'all. I'm not talking about Eagle Nation. I'm talking about these folks in seat 52A that be trying to have seat 3A conversations. Stay back there with them cold peanuts and that cold towel. Well, you ain't got no towel. Stay back there with them cold peanuts and them Biscoff cookies and that complimentary water or soda or drinks or juice. Stay back there. Capacity, man. I'm telling you, if you love your kids that much, I'm talking to those of you that are single with kids, but are thinking about me. If you love your kids that much that you cannot put your kids, the honor you have for your spouse above the honor that you have for your kids, stay single. If you like attention that much, If you like attention that much, where you would rather gravitate to what's in your inbox or liking your picture more than getting attention from a solid person in real life, then live the rest of your life on likes and shares. Good luck. And the gag is, by the time many of you realize that that's dysfunctional, now you in your 40s, 50s, 60s, ready to settle down, but you really ain't got a lot to choose from. Is this thing on? Let me go ahead and piss some of you women off. I'm especially talking to you women right now. Women, you do know you hit your prime earlier than a man, right? Uh-oh. No, I'm going over tonight. Y'all be all right. Doc tired, but I'm gonna teach this. I got one more to go. You do know that you hit your prime sooner than a man. Can I make this real plain tonight? You do know, women, that you hit your prime sooner than a man. A man hits his prime later in life than a woman does. And because you hit your prime sooner, that means your younger years are really, when I say best, it doesn't mean your older years are bad years. It means your best years in terms of being able to produce children, things like that, right? You know that, right? So why would you use your best years chasing attention instead of using your best years connecting with someone where you can produce? I'll tell you why. Because some of you are attention hungry. Some of you are attention vultures. I'm talking to you women on this particular point. You know, for all of you that think I'm only one sided. I'm talking to you women. You're attention vultures. You hit your prime sooner. And I'm telling you, maybe for some of the men you deal with who got their stomachs over their bellies to the point where they're almost kicking them with their knees. Make great money, but they out of shape, don't take care of themselves. Men who take care of themselves in their 40s are just tapping in their prime. I can't say this for all the men y'all dealing with. Some of your men are 35 and look 100. They make great money, but they 35 and they look 85. And some of us are 45 and look and feel 25. So you can tussle with your mama, but I'm telling you, ladies, you hit your prime sooner. Maybe social media is keeping you single because this buffet is giving you illusions of choices. Men, it works for you too in that regard. Because man, just because you think you got a lot of choices, don't mean you got great options. It's all an illusion. I'm just trying to help. And the truth is, many of you don't like this. A man can wait until he gets into his 40s. And if he's taking care of himself, especially in all five areas, he can get him a 25-year-old if he want it, 30-year-old, 35. He can do it. But a woman, though, a little bit harder. I know y'all don't like this. That's okay. It's all right. I don't know what I'm talking about. So let's stop making it like we have the same rules for every gender. This not that, y'all. We're not playing the fairness game. We're playing the truth game. Okay? Number 5. Fifth thing I want you to think about before you go back to where you left. Think about going back to where you left, etc. It is true. Look, I got women on here saying this is very true. Not just me. Look at all the women saying, "Doc, you telling the truth." And I have friends that are women. We have this conversation. Successful friends that are women in their 30s, 40s, some even in their 50s. Successful women that are beautiful women, very successful, strong careers, and they'll be the first to tell you. We have these conversations all the time. And I have to remind them, hey sis, when you was in your late 20s and 30s, you was too busy entertaining attention. Now that you in your 40s and 50s, you want to settle down. But the problem is the same men you're competing for, the 20-something-year-olds are looking at. Uh-oh. I know. It's all right. Let me just move on. Y'all don't want to have that talk. That's all right. I'm gonna shut up. Just act like I didn't say the last 10 minutes that I talked about. Okay. I mean, I love y'all, and I'm not gonna get into this conversation about age gaps. But whether this y'all agree with this or not, if you're of age, legal age, it can't be pedophilia. Like, so let's not be sensitive about this for real. Let's just be logical. It can't be, even whether you agree with it or not. Okay, it can't be. But I do. I have clients. I have clients that are. Thank you so much for telling them to tap the screen. I appreciate that. I have clients that are in age gap relationships, and people ask me a lot because a lot of times people think I'm much younger than what I am. That's because Doc works out 6 days a week, 2 times a day, 3 of those days, so that not only I can look good and be the finest great great granddaddy that ever lived, whenever that day comes, but also so I can eat whatever I want to eat. I literally think I work out to eat what I want to eat. I work out to eat. Okay. But let me say this to you. I get this question a lot. Doc, you have a problem with age gap relationships? I don't. I don't have a problem with age gap relationships. I have clients that have age gap relationships. Some as thin, obviously, as like a year or two. I've had clients that have had 30 plus year age gap relationships. I have. I've had 60 somethings with 30 somethings. I've had that. It's clientele. You know what Doc is more concerned about? Where are you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in terms of alignment? Where are you in terms of mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment? Because the greater thing to think about is how aligned are those two people? Here's the truth. You ready? The truth is, many women that I've had as clients who are younger that date older men, especially in today's time, late 20s, early 30s that are dating older men, you want to know the number one reason why they're dating them? It's not money. This is hard for many of y'all. I know. I'm just trying to help you. I'm going to give y'all the fifth thing. Somebody said it. Somebody in the comments. If y'all thinking I'm making this up, just look in the IG comments. Doc, I'm one of your clients, 20-year age gap, and I know who that is. I'm not making this up. You know why they do it? It's not money. Many of you think it is. It ain't daddy issues. When people say that for women who come from two-parent homes, now it sounds like you hating and you mad and you making excuses. Y'all stop. You want to know how? You want to know the number? Because I've asked. So y'all are guessing. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I've asked these questions. I'm not making this up. Okay. I've asked. You know the number one reason why that's the case? Maturity. Hypergamy is reason too. I'm not going to even get into that because I'll save that for masculine feminine energy revival. That's going to be coming up soon. I got an announcement on that coming up real soon. It's maturity, especially for today's time. You don't believe me? Ladies in their late 20s, early 30s, how many men y'all meeting that's got the kind of maturity to lead and to be the kind of man that you need? Where they at? I'll wait. I'm just waiting. I'll wait. Let me just play some more cricket. Where they at? I wish I had the Jeopardy music. Ladies in your late 20s, early 30s that's looking for solid men mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, where they at? The answer is maturity. They've told me, Doc, I went up because not because he got money. A lot of times these guys don't even really be having like great money. Depends on how you define great money. They'll be having great money, but they you might have a little bit of money. Doc, it's not money. It's maturity. We can have conversations about mature things. We can have conversations about big things. We can have conversations. I can talk with him about things I can't talk to with guys my age because they don't have the maturity. Remember when I said earlier that women mature faster than men? They do. And because they mature faster than men, their perspectives grow faster than men. I don't care what a man says. A woman gets to a place of being smart much faster than a man does. A woman gets to a place of smart much faster than a man does. I look at my daughter and my son. She's 13, he's 12. You can already see the maturity gap widening. Not because my son is immature, some doofus kid that is just immature. Not that, but because she's a young girl, she's maturing, her body's changing, she's growing up, and it's funny. They ain't but a year and 3 months apart, a year and 3 days apart. It's funny that when they are around each other, or like let's say I see them at the school, like my son had a game tonight. Shout out to my son, just really ran that point guard tonight. He ran that point guard tonight. I was really proud of him. Really matured and grew up on us tonight, and I was proud. But um they can be like congregating with their friends, right? And it can be Giselle and her friends, it can be Four and his friends, and Four's friends are boys, and Giselle's friends are girls, and they could be congregating, and you'll see the girls, they're kind of talking, and they have their thing on there in their circle, and then one of the boys will run up and hit them and just take off run, and they'll be like, "Y'all stop! You're acting so stupid. Y'all are so stupid, so silly." Wait a minute, wait. And the boys would just be laughing, run off laughing or whatever. They'll walk by, elbow them, hit them in the shoulder. And the girls will be like, "Y'all so silly. What's wrong with you? Y'all so immature." And I'll be like, "Y'all ain't but a year and 3 days apart." You know why? Because up here, they're already more advanced. Or at least in their mind, they think they are, which is a different conversation for a different day. But many of them have already been, especially when they've had things like menstrual cycles. Okay, so let's not debate on this, y'all. I don't want to just get scientific and pull some data out on y'all. I'm just saying to you that women mature faster, and because they do, it don't be shocked when they date older. Especially, and it ain't all. Now, some of them do it for money. Some of these men out here that's dating younger, they ain't checking the 5 areas. They just sugar daddies. Listen, see, Doc, equal opportunity. Everybody catch a fade in the Eagle Nation. Everybody. Some of these men, some of these men that are older dating younger women ain't nothing but sugar daddies. We can look at them and tell. we can talk. We can talk to them and tell. You can have a conversation with them and tell, baby, you ain't doing nothing but paying bills. That's it. I'm not talking about them. But some of these men who check all the boxes can date down there. They can date right here. They can date up there. Okay. All right. Fifth thing you need to think about. I didn't got way off on a tangent. It's 12:17. I'm about to lose my moderators. I'm surprised April is still on. If she's still on. April, if she's still on, it's a miracle. I'm gonna hear about this later. If she's still on. I appreciate you, April. I hope you support the show. It's the truth. I'm just I'm just telling y'all the truth. I'm just telling y'all the truth. And I let me just leave that alone. Um, Fifth thing to think about before going back to where you left. Y'all supporting the show? Oh God, I would read this if this was a super chat. But let me just say, these statements, y'all just go back and listen to my monologue about social media. Doc is just really trying not to get discouraged, but some of y'all really wear me out. I love y'all, but you really wear me out. And this is really why I do this self-awareness work. Men that claim to justify underperforming and minimize the expectations placed on them. It is learned behaviors. Sweetheart, dear, man, woman, whatever you are. Um, some of us came from two-parent homes, got great expectations. We have great learned behaviors, and we can still date whoever we want. Cut it out. Y'all have to stop justifying this stuff through this narrow lens. Okay. A lot of women grew up with perfectly balanced homes, healed parents, either both in the home or one with great expectations, were not screwed over, and they just mature and prefer maturity. Y'all stop. Stop. Y'all stop, please. All right, I'm gonna give y'all five. All right, because oh, this is really good. Hey, April, you still there? April, I love you, April. I appreciate you. I know Caitlin's probably still there. I appreciate you, April. Number five. The fifth thing I want you to think about before you go back to where you left, what is their commitment to doing the work? I appreciate you, April. I know I'm gonna hear about this later. What is their commitment to doing the work? What is their commitment to doing the work? What is their commitment to doing the work? Y'all, this is a very underrated one. Doc just said you made us wait all night for that. Let me explain. This is very underrated. You know why? I want you to write this down. Maybe the last note I'll give you tonight, because this speaks to a person's willingness to change. Their commitment to doing the work speaks to their willingness to change. If a person isn't committed to doing the work, they won't possess the willingness to change. Before you take a person back, you better measure hard and long. What is their commitment to doing the work? I'm telling you, you can just save your time, the energy, save the counseling and therapy fees. You can save all of that stuff. If a person doesn't have the commitment to doing the work, just stop wasting your time. If you can tell it's already too hard for them, it's too challenging for them, they ain't willing to do it, just don't waste your time. I'm serious. Just stop wasting your time. Because if they're not committed to doing the work to becoming the best version of themselves for themselves, they won't be committed to the work necessary to become the best version of themselves for you either. They won't. If they're not committed to becoming the best version of themselves for themselves, they won't be willing to become the best version of themselves for you either. So they'll get the worst version of themselves, and you'll get the worst version of them too. And we'll all be in the same boat, getting the worst version of each other. You got to measure this. What's their commitment to doing the work? Are they willing to buckle down and do the work? Y'all, five things are simple. Measure their capacity. One, two, did they change? If yes, why? Three, how does the good times compare with the bad times? Four, where is their focus after the breakup, the relationship, divorce, the friendship breakup, whatever? And that's where alignment also really matters too. We need to figure out what their values are. And five, what is their commitment to doing the work? Let me tell you something. If your answers to these five questions, if your answers to at least three of these five questions are not favorable, run. Just run. Don't waste time trying to do this work with people who aren't committed to doing the work. Save yourself time, energy, effort, and just go on about your life. Love y'all, mean it, but I'm serious. Some of us make this way harder than what it has to be. And it's really not that hard. Okay? Is this helpful? Y'all, look here. We are up late tonight. I don't think I've ever done a live until 12. No, that's a lie. I have. I think one night we messed around, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking about doing a live after dark, but I think it's only going to probably be on YouTube. And it's going to be a live after dark. And it's probably going to be either an ask me anything or something connected to relationships where you guys can ask challenging questions. Thank you so much, Christy. Christy says, thank you. I appreciate you for your support. I'm thinking about doing something like that. Um, yeah, and I like it. Somebody says, I've never watched a live this long. Great. It's the first time for everything. But y'all need to go back and listen to these things and take to heart what I said about social media. Don't die single in the name of attention. I'm talking to men and women. Remember, I don't like none of y'all. The truth is the truth. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. A lot of y'all are going to be able to weed out the folks that don't belong in your life by just measuring their desire for attention. Anybody that knows me in real life will tell you I am an introvert. I am really an ambivert, which means I'm an introvert by nature, an extrovert by trade. So if you see me at a tourist stop, event, workshop, oh my God, Doc is so personable. Yeah. When that's over, ask my volunteers. Y'all go that way, and I be going that way. I love y'all, and it's not, it's no put on. It's nothing personal. Doc is a real life introvert. But this desire for attention and having to be seen is going to keep many of y'all single. You got to like you in here before anybody out there likes you out there. Okay. And I don't want y'all to mess what you could have entertaining attention from stuff that ain't going to do you any good anyway. I'm talking to men and women. Okay. Was this helpful tonight? I hope so. Um, Support the show. I will have hopefully some announcements really soon about a lot of different things. We got a lot moving right now. A lot moving, a whole lot moving. But I'm hoping starting next week, I should have some announcements about quite a few different things. Somebody said, did I decide to do the matchmaking? I want to do that. I'm looking into it, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. At first, I wanted to do it live, but my concern is not having enough men to do it live. And so I'm thinking about doing a pilot of it, maybe online, and that way I can put out applications for it. So we'll see. For those of you that might be interested in doing the matchmaking thing, and it'll be small, maybe 3 guys, 3 girls, or 3 men, 3 women. Let me correct that for some of y'all go crazy. Three, 3 men, 3 women. So I'm playing with that too, but I've got a lot of different announcements coming up, some big things coming up, and hope to release some dates to you all about quite a few things, including some more workshop courses. I'm going to be doing a lot more of that, and so I can start to scale this counseling, this coaching stuff back a little. I have to, y'all. My kids are growing, and Doc needs his time. So to scale and to do some other things. And so, like I said, starting next week, just trying to get through January. A lot of people use January to execute. I use January to plan. I kind of work on a different system. So I haven't even done my vision board. I have a vision board on my phone. I haven't even updated it, but I typically don't do it until like the last week in January. And so it'll be executed by February, but I have a lot of plans that I'm just working through, really thinking through, meditating on, praying about as well. And so I hope to have some announcements about this stuff really soon. But in the meantime, um, thank you for supporting the show. Continue to support the show. Consider being a part of Patreon, the subscriber space. That space may be very beneficial. I have a 52-week syllabus that they're working on. They're on week 3 or 4, I believe, and it's been really powerful. And I've got some more exciting things planned in the works for them. But really excited about some things that should be launching and kicking off hopefully by the month of April. All right. So appreciate your support. Again, y'all support the show. I've got 12:28. I'll give you till 1 a.m. I think I'll be up at least until then, just doing some things before I lay down. But whew, support the show. And if you support the show before 1 a.m. and enough of you do it, we'll leave this up. If not, Patreon subscribers, check your Patreon. We'll upload it there and you can watch the replay as much as you want to. All right. I appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Thank you so much for your support. Have a good weekend. And I'll see you with some content on tomorrow. Also, check out my YouTube. You may see some things pop up on there this weekend. Talk to you soon. Peace and blessings.